I'm comparing what kind of larval fish I'm finding at the terraces to the different kinds that I'm finding at the natural marsh to see if the nursery habitat developed by the terraces is functionally equivalent to the nursery habitat that we have at the natural marsh.
There's a lot of different approaches to coastal restoration in Louisiana, everything from marsh creation to barrier islands. This particular project is looking at terrace creation. Terrace creation is a neat function because what it does is it creates a lot of marsh edge, and that is where the edge of the marsh meets the open water. What RES constructed out here were a lot of these terraces that provide a lot of premier habitat in this area for these fish. The investment that BHP has made into this project has allowed us, Nichols, and RES to really understand how these terraces are going to function. Louisiana coastal marshes is why we have so much seafood. This is why we have so many shrimp, why we have so many crabs, so many speckled trout, that this type of habitat is where the nurseries are.
The snags that you see behind me are dead cypress trees that were most likely killed from a storm surge that pushed a lot of salt water into this region. This system is transitioning into a freshwater marsh due to not having any other seed source for cypress, and bald cypress being one of the only trees that can potentially live in conditions that wet.
Because the cypress trees were there, we knew this used to be a terrestrial landscape. But due to subsidence and other factors, the land sunk and became converted to an open water habitat. RES completed the construction of these marsh terraces, and that's about the time that we started our sampling. And we were comparing the terraces to the adjacent local marsh. When those terraces were built, there was no vegetation on them. They were just bare dirt. And over time, when we would compare the vegetation from the terraces to the marshes, the aquatic vegetation, we had a better similarity of species abundances between those two habitats. That tells me that within a year, the newly created terraces that went from just bare dirt were functioning as an established marsh habitat. The total amount of organisms that are out here supports a big diversity of aquatic life. We get big alligator gar out here, we get largemouth bass, we get tons of ladyfish, and these are all predatory type fish. The fact that we are finding so many of these big fish out here tells me that this is a very productive, healthy system. We have different areas that we're focusing on. One area is the fish. Now within the fish species that we have out here, we're looking at the larval and juvenile so we can assess the quality of the nursery habitat. We're looking at small-bodied fish, which are going to be using it marsh edge habitat as adults. And then we're also looking at large-bodied fish like the alligator gar to give us an idea of can this area support populations of top predators. We are also looking at the crustaceans, crabs and grass shrimp and crawfish that use this area. And we're also monitoring the amphibians and birds and reptiles as part of the group.
BHP and RES both think that no action is absolutely not the right action. So we'd like to at least make an effort to reforest these areas, and we think that it's great to see companies like BHP take corporate sustainability initiatives and put money into restoration. It's just a good showing of faith that they care about this community and this area, and that they want to see the people and the land in this area thrive again.
The majority of our students are impacted by coastal land loss. And so the fact that Nicholls has this opportunity to be out here, working the land, working the marsh, and being part of these restoration efforts means a lot to us at the university.
At BHP, we look for sustainable partnerships that allow for real change. We have a long-time presence in the Gulf of Mexico and South Louisiana and understand the importance of restoring and preserving the region's unique natural environment. This project with RES and Nicholls State University highlights how we'll work together in response to environmental challenges and use green engineering, where we can create a sound environment that supports the community. We hope this project is a model for others going forward, demonstrating the impact of collective action and collaboration.